Hey everyone. So part of this whole quarantine process, I've had a lot of patient conversations about better snack foods to have on hand. We don't want to be binging on junk food because one, not good for us during this COVID situation. Increased amounts of carbs and sugars cause an influence of inflammation within our body. And when inflammation is high, we're more susceptible to contracting illness, whether it's COVID-19 or flu or a cold, any type of illness in general. Inflammation also plays a huge role in heart disease and diabetes and cancer, but that's a whole nother conversation. So one of the biggest things that a lot of people are looking for is that snacky, salty kind of treat. And so, did you know you can make your own low carb tortilla chips? Because let's face it, most dips or salsas out there are pretty low in carbs and sugars, and so they aren't the problem. What's the problem is what you get it from the dip from the bowl to your face on. And so today we are going to make low carb tortilla chips, okay? So you are going to take your Mission Carb Balance tortillas. I happen to have the whole wheat version on hand. These guys are amazing because they are 18 grams of total carbs, but they have 15 grams of fiber in them. So for one tortilla, it's only 3 grams of net carb. You can't beat that. And I know roughly we're gonna get about 10 to 12 chips out of this one tortilla. And so since when can you ever get 10 to 12 chips for 3 grams of net carb? Unless you're eating vegetables, you aren't finding it anywhere else. And so a great thing. Another option that you can use is the Joseph's lavash bread, which most of the grocery stores here in town do carry the Joseph's lavash bread. It's kind of about the size of this cutting board that I have here, and it's a little thinner in nature than a tortilla. These chips are going to come out a little thick, but the Joseph tortilla or the Joseph lavash breads, they make thinner chips. So if you'd prefer a thinner chip, you can go that way too. And it's just equally as low in carbs. So how we do our low carb chips is we're going to take some olive oil and we're going to just pour a little amount onto your tortilla, and then you take like a little brush, a grill brush or just a food brush, and you're gonna spread that all out across the tortilla. And you're gonna do that on both sides, because you wanna get both sides nice and crispy. And you should have enough on your brush and on your board to kind of make that happen for yourself, so you don't have to pour on each side. But if you were being a little stingy with the oil on one side, you might have to pour a little bit more on the other. And then you can use your choice of whatever seasonings that you want to do. I'm today going to use the Space Aliens Cajun spice seasoning. These make them super spicy. Might be a little too hot for kiddos, but I really enjoy this one. Otherwise, those popcorn seasoning salts, you can use those as well. We happen to have white cheddar at home, but again, I'm going to use the Cajun. You can use your plain old cooking spices too. Salt and pepper, some onion powder, some garlic powder. You can even use a Hidden Valley Ranch dip mix packet and to pour that all over it and kind of spread it out. So here we go. You want to give it a good, nice, even coating. And again, you're going to do this on both sides. And then you're going to take a pizza cutter and you're going to cut the tortilla into pieces, how many ever pieces that you want to create. Prior to getting your chip making process started, I would suggest that you either preheat your oven for 325, or if you have an air fryer, you can use that as well. And that's what we're gonna do today. We're gonna put these into our air fryer, and I already have it preheated. And I'm going to turn the heat down than what it is saying on there. I'm going to turn it down to that 325. The air fryer, from experience, does make them crisp up faster than the oven, and so I'm gonna actually make them for a shorter period of time in the air fryer. I'm only gonna put them in there for about 4 to 6 minutes because they do crisp up pretty fast. But in the oven, it does kind of take the full 8 to 10 minutes, especially when you're using the low carb tortilla, because it is just a little bit thicker than the Joseph's lavash bread. So we've got our tortilla all cut up. And we're gonna come over here to our air fryer, and I'm just going to space these pieces out inside the air fryer. The air fryer, of course, operates on hot air blowing around on the inside here. And so don't be surprised if you open it up and they're blown all over the place, just for the fact that they get light and the moisture dehydrates out of them, and you find them all over the place in here. But they get nice and crispy, and you can use them to make nachos. You can use them to make just to have as a snack, or if you're wanting to do whatever else you would normally do with a chip. So I'm going to turn down my temperature, like I said, to 325, and then our time is only going to be, I'm going to start out at 5 minutes. And we turn that on, and you're going to have chips in 5 minutes. And again, it's only the amount of carbs that happens to be in that tortilla, which is 3 grams of net carb. Pretty awesome in my book. Hope you guys having a good afternoon, and we'll see you in a little bit.